Well, parole has been denied to Oscar Pistorius. This year was marking a decade since the Paralympian shot and killed his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, on Valentine's Day. For the latest, let's go to eNCA's Heidi Giokos outside the Kgoshi Mampuru prison. Heidi, good afternoon again. Welcome to today. It didn't take them that long to make a decision, Heidi.
Yes, Bradan, I think it's just important for us to highlight the fact that Correctional Services have not issued out an official statement confirming this, but we have spoken to the Steenkamp family who have confirmed that indeed Oscar Pistorius has been denied parole. We have been informed that this decision has of course been made by the parole board. It didn't take them very long, as I have been mentioning in my previous live crossings, that there were a number of reports before the parole board that they needed to consider. We do not know the details as to why he has been denied parole and what prompted this decision by the parole board not to grant Oscar Pistorius parole. We will obviously get that from Correctional Services, but we have been told by Tanya Quinn, who is representing the Steenkamp family, that Oscar Pistorius has been denied parole at this stage. We've also been told they will consider his parole again a year from now. Why that's the case, we're not sure. I have tried to reach out to Singnabako Ngumalo, who is the spokesperson for Correctional Services. He has not responded to my text message or my phone call at this stage, but it is confirmed by the Steenkamp family, and they of course would have been informed from the very onset. They of course would have been told whether or not he would be granted parole or not, given the victim impact report that was handed over by June Steenkamp, who is the mother of late Riva Steenkamp. Of course, I'm sure that the Steenkamp family is very pleased by this, because they would have opposed his parole from the beginning. They did oppose his parole from the very beginning, claiming that Oscar Pistorius has not been rehabilitated and that he, of course, showed no kind of sign that he wanted to tell the truth, according to the Steenkamp family, why Riva was actually shot 4 times by her then partner Oscar Pistorius. So we have it on confirmation from Tanya Quinn, which is the lawyer of the Steenkamp family.
Yes, and as she had told us a little bit earlier, they expected to be informed first, and the Correctional Services had told them that the Steenkamp family will know first the decision of the parole board, because it is made official, and we're still waiting for that official announcement, as you say, Heidi, but we can confirm from the Steenkamp family that they've been informed that Oscar Pistorius has been denied parole, and his case for parole might be looked at again a year from now. It's going to be very interesting, Heidi, to see what exactly led the parole board to deny him means, because ahead of this they had said he had been rehabilitated, he worked very hard, and he ticked a few other boxes, but seemingly he did not.
Yes, exactly, and I think that's going to be imperative to try and ascertain why the parole board denied Oscar Pistorius parole, because we were told by Correctional Services earlier on that he had been a very well-behaved inmate, and that he had been part of a number of programs, and he had of course rehabilitated in some form or another. As to why he was denied parole, unfortunately, I cannot give you that information at this stage. I keep looking down at my phone just to see if we receive any statement from Correctional Services, any official statement, but nothing has come through as yet.
Okay.
But again, just to emphasize the fact that he was eligible for parole. He, of course, served 8 years. He has been serving 8 years of the 13.5, which makes him eligible. He did not receive a life sentence. Therefore, the decision was going to be up to the parole board to decide on whether or not he receives parole. It wasn't going to be up to the Minister of Justice, Ronald Lamola, because when you get a life sentence, it is before a parole board, but ultimately it's the decision of the Justice Minister. But in this case, it was up to the parole board. And maybe it has a lot also to do, Bradan, with that victim impact report that was done by June Steenkamp this morning. She had told media here that she was very nervous, and she, of course, did not know how she was going to face Oscar Pistorius. But she did say that, you know, it was possibly, or her legal team possibly saying that she has to do this. She has to
Okay.
speak on behalf of her late daughter. And just lastly, Bradan, I must just emphasize that the two were not in the same room, and that was something that June Steenkamp was very nervous about, that she would have to face Oscar Pistorius, but their representations were separate.
Thank you very much. We'll have to wait and see for that statement what other details will be there from the correctional services a little bit later on. Well, that's the breaking news this hour. We've been told as eNCA, in person of Heidi Giokos there, outside the Kgosi Mampuru, the second prison in Pretoria, that Oscar Pistorius has been denied parole.